When I think of social entrepreneurship, I think of this. I am currently a graduate student at the University of Delaware studying entrepreneurship and design. When I became interested in entrepreneurship 3 years ago, I wanted to set out to be a social entrepreneur just like this. I fell completely in love with the one-for-one business model, specifically Tom's Shoes. You buy a pair of shoes, they give a pair of shoes to someone in need. What a wonderful concept. I became obsessed with learning all about it. I wanted to base my entrepreneurial idea exactly off of this. I went out to a Tom's Cafe in Austin, Texas, and Los Angeles, California. I purchased and religiously read Blake McCoskey's book. I wanted to email him and ask him if he would be my mentor. A little crazy, but I thought that this was a revolutionary business concept that would positively impact social change everywhere. And since Blake McCoskey's Tom's Shoes model, the one-for-one business plan has exploded. It has become a massive industry for social entrepreneurs all over the world. But one day, my perspective changed. In the midst of all my research, I stumbled upon a documentary called Poverty, Inc., and it completely changed how I saw things in the world of social entrepreneurship. Is there a bad side of good? And how can good become better? We can argue that good is a relative term, right? Things can be good on a scale. There are good deeds, NGOs, nonprofits, charities, happening and acting all over the world. And those who have given back to people in places struggling in poverty are doing good. There is no doubt about it. However, a lot of the help that these organizations are giving are free goods, free clothing, free shoes, free food. The options and free handouts are overwhelming and endless. It is good. I know it comes straight from our hearts, but what I'm saying today is the way it is done does not work. We change ideas, we change the process, we try something new every 10 to 20 years, but we're still dealing with the same broken system. Machiavelli said, "The reason there will be no change is because the people who stand to lose from change have all the power, and the people who stand to gain from change have none." So who are the people who stand to lose from change? The NGOs, the corporations, the nonprofits, those that have all the power. These companies want to do good. They build and build and build, and they are on a mission to give back to a greater social good. But change requires time and effort. To change the process and the system takes work. To be a social entrepreneur takes risk. But not to change when you realize what you are doing isn't working is the easy way out. It may take more time, energy, financials, but to build something better than just good can have a longer, more sustainable, positive impact on the world. We hear and see words like NGO, aid, nonprofit every single day, and we automatically think that is good. But do we ever truly dig deeper than that? What happens after that surplus is drop shipped? What happens to your donations? What can be done that can be better? What is the good side of good? Now let's zoom all the way in. Who are the people who stand to gain from change? We're in Ghana, Senegal, Haiti, Kenya, and we come in with our shipping trucks and containers, and we dispense millions of free shoes, clothing, food, whatever you can think of, because people are struggling and people are in need. But let's look over here. There's a man who has spent his whole life trying to build the perfect African sandal. And let's look over here. Here's a man who has been farming and slaving in the fields to grow pounds and pounds of rice just for this season. And who's over here? Here's a woman who hand sews headscarves every single day just to make a living. And now here we are dropping off all of these things for free. And what happens is the local people lose their work. They lose their income. They cannot support their families. They go even deeper into poverty. No one buys from the local businesses because it is impossible to compete with free. So while they still receive their free handouts, this poverty cycle continues. They build themselves up, and then we tear them right back down every single time we dispense free goods. We create a sense of dependency instead of fostering an environment of empowerment and potential. So instead of people who stand to lose from change and people who stand to gain from change, why don't we all stand together? It goes back to the all-time famous quote, "You give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish, he eats for life." Giving away free goods is good, especially in times of crisis or emergency. But at some point, it isn't a crisis anymore. Poverty is not a crisis. It is a systemic part of humanitarian life. The founder of World Central Kitchen is a man named Jose Andres. And Jose has taken an entirely new approach to the idea of social entrepreneurship. He has empowered people to be a part of the solution rather than giving free goods. What the World Central Kitchen does is they create kitchens in local schools. And this has a profound impact on the developing area. With a centered focus of creating better health, education, and jobs, it encourages children to go and attend school. It creates a healthy, safe cooking environment. It provides a sustainable source of revenue for the school. It employs and creates jobs for the people in the local community. It increases earnings, quality of life, and it strengthens their economy. Now, there is an exponential difference between this and giving away free food. So maybe you aren't a CEO or an entrepreneur of a major nonprofit organization, NGO, or charity. But in no way does that mean that you cannot have a significant impact on what happens in the world every single day. We are all our own businesses. You are your own business. And I want to leave you today with 3 points to take away. Number 1, be open-minded to understanding both sides of good, the good side and the bad side. Open up your perspective and always dig deeper. Number 2, do your research. You have complete control of where your money goes. And you can find out exactly what you are donating to and how it is affecting those people if you just look deep enough. And number 3, change the question. Instead of asking, what can I give to help? Let's put more thought into the things we think are good and constantly ask ourselves how they can be better. Thank you.